What is up, everybody? This is Podcast Gameoverse, episode 054 for Saturday, January 2nd, 2021. First show of the new year. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, joined by, as always, Mr. Rick.
Yo, what up? I'm excited, man. We got a lot to talk about. 2020 was a fucking mess, not just in gaming, but the real world, too. We're just going to talk about gaming stuff right now because everyone knows the world's on fire. So let's talk about how the gaming industry is on fire.
Yeah, this will be our Gameoverse Awards show. We try to do this like every beginning of the year, just to give ourselves time to finish everything that happened, came out, across the year. December releases like Cyberpunk.
Yeah, dude. Fucking. This whole year's just been crazy, especially with gaming. I'll ask the show, everybody.
I keep forgetting to turn that off after. Okay, there we go.
But no, we have a lot to go over, man. Not just like in gaming, but just in general, man. We're excited for some shit that's gonna happen. My list isn't nearly going to be as long as yours because I didn't play that many games, but I feel like we played enough similar games. We have quite a bit to go over.
We're gonna consolidate our list into like a consolidated top 10 for 2020. So. Yeah,
and we do this live, so if you're there in the chat, say some stuff, man. Like, let us know what you felt was game of the year, what you've been playing. Don't tell us to kill ourselves, or do. I don't care. I'm not your dad, but
yeah, jump in the chat, jump in the Discord, Gameoverse.com/Discord, Gameoverse.com/Twitch. Yeah, or let us know in the comments on the YouTube video. What you think we missed, because we always miss something. That's why I think I want to start with 2019 games, or anything that didn't come out in 2020 that we played, that we missed back when it was hot. Like myself.
Yeah,
I happened to finally play a lot of stuff that I missed. That Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, you played that this year. I forgot.
That Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Let me just say that I didn't like. I liked it, but I thought that it could have been a lot better.
I think we have this conversation at least like every other or every third podcast, but I loved Spider-Man. That's as a huge Spider-Man fan, I feel like they did the character just so right. But from a gamer perspective, it doesn't really do anything that other open world superhero games haven't done yet.
Yeah, I mean, like the storyline and the graphics and all that stuff, like playing the game, like it plays well. But
yeah,
I just feel like it was a very, it felt a lot like just old open world stuff, man. Like you're running around and then you're fine tuning the satellites, and then all the blips open up on your map, and you're like,
yeah,
I don't want to fucking do any of this shit. Like it just felt. It just felt like very open world, like Assassin's Creed, like collect all this bullshit type stuff that I just didn't want to do. But everything else, like the story and the characters and the acting and all that stuff was like phenomenal.
It's funny you bring that up because it was the acting and story that made me do that stuff. Because it's not like, how can I word it? It's not like here's some random collectibles and then you're done. Like you get a fun little story thing when you do it. Like when you collect the backpack with Spider-Man, you get like a little blip where he talks about like what's in the backpack. So like as a Spider-Man fan, someone who likes Spider-Man, that's really cool to see. And that's what kept me doing it. So I see where you're coming from, someone who probably you've admitted like you're not a comic book guy, you're not a superhero guy, so someone who doesn't really know a lot or care about the character, it's just busy work. But for me, it's like it was just more stuff to do in the game, for me at least. So that's why I didn't mind it too much, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it was more stuff to do, but I just felt like I didn't want to do it because it was all like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was all the same to me. It was like, okay, I'll do
Yeah.
it once, and then like even like someone told me these the puzzle pipe missions that you do where you like connect the pipes. Someone told me you can skip all those, and I'm like, okay, well then why even do them? I mean, I ended up doing them all, but I don't know. I don't know if it's true that you can skip them, but someone told me you can skip them all.
There's an option to skip the mini game. You still need to like go and hunt it down and do the mission, quote unquote. But the pipe mini game, there's an option to skip it if you don't want to do those.
Yeah, which I guess is fine for like, I don't know, if you're not good at puzzles, but.
And that's one thing I want to talk about the game. It has a lot of like great accessibility options. There's an option to like change the combat difficulty, make the swinging easier to do, even like change the quick time events. You can keep them on, turn them off, or change the quick time events that have you mash a button to just holding it if like your hands can't mash buttons really well. Like there's a lot of accessibility options in it that I wanted to shout out. That game does a lot right. I love it.
But yeah, so yeah, I finally got around to playing that. Anything else you played?
It's not a secret, man. I've been playing Borderlands like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
That is, yeah. I had a reason not to play it though, because you know when it dropped, I wasn't about to buy that on console. And when it finally came out on PC on Steam, that's when I went and picked it up. It just came out on Steam this year, and God, dude, it's so good. Like the dialogue is still awful. So if you don't like Borderlands story or humor, that's not going to change your mind. It's still bad. The game's not as funny as it thinks it is. It's not as clever as it thinks it is. The annoying bosses are just that. They're annoying and they're not funny, but the gameplay is solid, man. I love the gameplay of it. I'm playing through the game right now. I just played with my brother last night. I bought a copy for him for Christmas, and him and I played it last night. We played for a couple hours, and he was super into it. Like that's probably my like old game of the year. Like I'm upset it took me this long to play it, but I didn't have a way to play it on Steam until this year, though, so I don't regret waiting.
Yeah, I ended up playing a bunch of that this year too, and
yeah,
I got it when it came out. Played a little bit of it. It was like super sour on it, but I ended up going back to it this year, or I guess last year, 2020, and yeah, I just muted everything and just put podcasts on and ended up enjoying it a lot more. So
that's the way to play it, dude. Like it's so good. Even Mo's, like, cause I know you didn't like her with the mech.
Yeah.
Like I started playing through the game, and luckily, like I got a good explosive weapon, so I was able to meet the criteria for that tree. And I'm having a blast, dude. Like when you build a character, you have to build it a specific way and how you want to do something. And if you don't play by that way, like the game can be really tough to get through. But if you're careful where you're putting your points in, you know ahead of time how you want to play that character. Like it's a blast, man. And watching those numbers go up, watching your skills work together, it's a lot of fun. Like I was having a blast with it. Like that's easy. My 2019 game of the year, easy. Or my old game of the year, I guess is the term we're using.
I actually recently went back to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Oh, me too. How'd it go for you though?
I think I fucked up. I fucked up because realized, I don't know. So I got through the first like 2 worlds. I just finished the Toy Story world.
That one's fun.
It's like the second or third one, and I'm realizing I fucked up. Like because
what'd you fuck up?
Well, I went in thinking like Kingdom Hearts 1 plus Kingdom Hearts 2 would equal Kingdom Hearts 3. But that is very much not the case. So like I'm realizing now that I got to go back and play every single Kingdom Hearts game, which I have them now, but I was like, I finished Kingdom Hearts 1. Like I just replayed through that, finished it, and I was like, okay, you know what? That's a good enough recap. I'll jump back into 3. Because I started Chain of Memories, and I was like, dude, this game sucks. I hate fucking card games like this. I don't want to play this. So then I was like, let me just jump into 3, and then no, you can't. Impossible. There's just things that are happening, characters and names, and I have no fucking idea what's happening.
Dude. That game is not nice to newcomers. That game wants you to have played all like 6 games. Hold on, let me do some math here. We got 1. We got Chain of Memories. We got 358 over 2 days. We got 2. We have Birth by Sleep. We have Recoded. We have Dream Drop Distance. God damn, that's 7 games.
Yeah.
You need to play. Granted, like 2 of those games, if you have the collection, they got turned into movies. So you don't have to sit through a whole game. But still, that's like 5 games you got to play through, man. It is not... Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is not nice to newcomers, dude. It's... I tried replaying it now, too. And this is coming from someone who I beat it when it came out. Like, when it came out, I played it for a couple weeks, and I finished it. And I never went back to it until recently this year. I bought the expansion for it. I'm like, I'll go back and replay it with the expansion. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, that game is... Now that the luster of, like, oh, how is it going to end? Like, now that that's, like, gone, I don't have a reason to go back to it. I'm sad to admit.
So now I'm like, well, I could play through all these games, but let's be honest here, I'm still not going to know what the fuck is going on.
No, because the game makes up shit as it goes along. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm thinking I was just like play through it. Also, like I don't think Kingdom Hearts 3 is that great. I mean, it feels like we all know that game was in like development hell. And it's a game that feels like it was. Like it's a game that feels like it came from PS2 or like early PS3. It just looks a lot better.
Yeah, you're not wrong, and that's the bummer with it, is that it's not the jump I was expecting for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of parts to it that just feel like unfinished. There's not a way to say it. Like, the game runs fine. There's no like huge glitches, but there's also like not a lot behind it either. It feels really shallow despite all the shit they tried to cram into it. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
It's like Final Fantasy 15, how it wants to pretend to be bigger than it really is. You know what I mean? But behind all the smoke and mirrors, it's not nearly as like big or epic as it thinks it is. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but yeah, that was like a huge bummer for me. I just played it to get to the end, dude. I've been playing Kingdom Hearts for like, how long has that series been around now? Like 10 plus years. I just wanted to get to the end already and see how it finished.
I already put this much time into it. Now we just gotta like finish the fight.
Yeah, dude, basically, like, and when I got to the end of the game, like, usually, like, I'll go back, I'll try to do some side missions and try to level up my character a bit more, but with Kingdom Hearts 3, I remember, like, when I got to the last part of the game, I was like, okay, let's just do it, and I just marathoned it to the end. I was just relieved it was finally over. Allegedly, there's supposed to be some more games coming out, but I don't know. I think I'm done with Kingdom Hearts for a while, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, they just put out that rhythm game that has, like, expands the story even more.
Which is, like, come the fuck on. Like, dude, I thought we were past that. Like, why you gotta... That's the thing I hate about Kingdom Hearts. You can't, like... Especially, like, back in the day, man. Because let's say you play through the games in order like I did. You know, you had to play Kingdom Hearts 1 on PS2, Chain of Memories in the Game Boy Advance, because that's what it originally came out on. We didn't get Chain of Memories till like 2-3 years later. Then Kingdom Hearts 2 on PS2, 358 over 2 days on the DS, Birth by Sleep on the PSP. That's fucking 4 systems, dude. I gotta buy so I can play this fucking game. And the game is like strict. It references stuff that happens. I have friends who like played 1, jumped into 2, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, it's sad. But are you gonna finish it though, or are you just gonna be like, are you giving up on it?
I'm gonna finish it. I thought I was gonna go back and play all those old games, which I still might, but I think I'm just.
I mean, they're not bad. Like Chain of Memories is kind of rough, but Birth by Sleep's really good. Yeah, that's like probably one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I don't think anything's top 2 though.
I've played and finished Birth by Sleep at least, but so like I know that's up, but like there's stuff that happens in between all these games. I'm like, who the fuck is this, and why are they calling this guy by a different name? And I'm like, where in the thing does this happen? Like I felt like I played all of the important games, you know, but now I'm realizing that oh no, they're all fucking important. So
even the mobile game, dude, which like I never played the fucking mobile game, and like that's important too.
Yeah,
like that gets referenced a lot in 3. It got so bad that like after I beat it, I was like, okay, I kind of understand what's going on, but what was that thing? And I had to like look up a fucking wiki to like understand the ending I just watched.
So yeah, I'll finish it, but I'm not gonna like
it. Another game I played this year, I guess my old game of the year, which is it's kind of hard to categorize. I played Persona 5 Royal this year, which I know technically it's a new game, but it's just a expanded version of Persona 5, and that came out already like years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Honestly, like if you can get Persona 5 Royal right now, go pick it up. It's the best version of Persona 5. It fixes all the problems I have with Persona 5. And it adds a lot of story elements, and it's not like at the end is when you get all the cool new story shit. Like there's a lot of it at the end, but there's also stuff that's sprinkled out throughout the game, so the whole game feels different. Like that's definitely worth it. If you like Persona 5, you will love Persona 5 Royal.
I still got my fingers crossed for a PC release on that.
Dude, I've been waiting for a PC release on that forever, or like a Switch release or something. I doubt it's going to happen anytime soon, but I'm fingers are crossed. On that note, what else? Dragon Quest XI S came out this year too for PS4 and Xbox. That's phenomenal. If you slept on Dragon Quest XI, go play the Definitive Edition. It's good. Free on Game Pass if you have Game Pass for PC and Xbox, so go check that out. That one's a solid game. Really old school JRPG. What else did I play? Yeah, there's nothing else I played this year that's really worth talking about. At least something that was older.
Yeah, earlier 2020, I went back and played Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC, which a lot of people was like a love-hate thing with that game. Like they either just don't like the pacing of it, or some people love the pacing. Some people just like to breed fucking horses or go fishing and shit.
Wait, that's a thing? You can breed horses in that game?
Oh yeah, yeah. You could
like, and it actually affects their stats, and you could sell the horses, and
yeah.
Holy
like,
fuck! I didn't know that. You have to
go and like you have to actually go and like into the wild and break the horses first, and then like train them and like make them better and shit, and then you can like breed them and sell them and shit. It's like that's some people play that game and that's all they do.
That is like really cool. I didn't know it was that deep. Like
there's
shit.
There's a lot of simulation shit in this game, just like that. Where it's like hunting and skinning. There's like different qualities of pelt depending on how you kill an animal. Like there's a ton of shit like that. So which is going to come up later, but when you talk about cyberpunk and you're talking about like immersiveness, that game doesn't even come fucking anywhere near as close to immersion levels as Red Dead Redemption 2.
Shit, I gotta pick that game up now. Damn. I bought it for my father-in-law, and he likes it. He can't play games like he used to, so he's having a hard time with it, but he likes it. But I didn't even know all that shit was in the game. That's crazy.
Yeah. And then like just like the story and the characters are absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I've been waiting for that PC release for such a long time, and then it came out and it was still $60, and I was like, okay, I don't want to pay $60 for this. So like I finally it finally caught a sale. It was like 40, which I was like, okay, this is probably as low as it's gonna get for a couple years still. So I jumped on it, and yeah, I haven't finished it. It's super slow, but also I think I moved it around because it's like 1,000 gigs, and I can't fit it on my SSD with like other stuff that was coming out. So I shifted around. Haven't played it in a while, but yeah, I need to get back into it because it's really good.
Yeah, I gotta go play it. I'm in the same boat you are, man. It came out on PC and it's still $60, so I'm a little hesitant to dip my toe in the water there. But
Yeah,
from what you're telling me is true, that's insane, man. Like, god damn.
it's got like so many deep systems of, you'll just be walking around and some random shit is happening and you're like, I'm gonna go check this out, and then it's a whole like thing that it just feels like it's naturally happening. It's something that, you know, some other games that did come out in 2020 still have not nailed, but yeah, that game was just extremely impressive. So
Well, it's on my wish list now. God, what else have I played? I'm trying to look back at what else I played this year, man.
Recently I got into Sekiro. Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, how's that?
Played a little bit of that. That game's incredible. That is a Souls game that encourages you get up in that ass, and those are the ones I like. The Bloodborns type shit. That's what I like. So I really like that game. It's very difficult. I wish there were more feedback on the. It's very parry based. It wants you to parry fucking everything. And there's not. I wish there was a bit more feedback on if you were doing it correctly. Because you'll hit the parry button, but you won't fully know if you've like did a perfect parry or if you're like fucking it up. That's like pretty much my only feedback on that.
You just reminded me if you're talking about Souls likes. Oh, what's up, man?
Grumble said, "Why no Sekiro streams?" And I've been streaming it recently, but I have been streaming it. Check the YouTube. It's on there. Gameoverse.com/YouTube. But yeah.
One thing that you reminded me of it when you're talking about Souls like I did play Jedi Fallen Order, and that's a good one too. Like it's like a mix between like Dark Souls combat but a lot faster, mixed with like Uncharted with some Metroidvania elements, and it's all wrapped up in a Star Wars package. Like, I'm into it, dude. I like to think that I'm. Yeah.
Is that a get up in that ass game, or?
It is a very get up in that ass game.
All right.
Like, it's really quick. It focuses more. It's a combination of like dodges, but parries are much more effective. So you want to do that. Like, the more offensive abilities are more useful. Like, there's you can fight these walkers. I'm not going to say the names. You're not going to know what it is, but those the walkers that are popular in Star Wars. And there's this bit where they're shooting like grenades at you, And yeah, you can dodge out of the way of the grenades, or if you time it right, you can pick them up and throw them back at it.
The walkers. You're talking
And
about the okay. You're talking about the Okay, here's a question for you. Is it
yeah,
you're talking about the AT-ATs? Do you call them AT-ATs or you call them AT-ATs?
I am not talking about the AT-ATs.
Okay.
But I call them AT-ATs.
Okay. Whenever I hear AT-AT, I like cringe a little. I'm like, oh, I don't know if that's right, but I wouldn't call them that. That seems like a weird thing to call them. But okay, so it's not those. Okay, well then that's I wouldn't know what you're talking about then.
I don't know how to explain it. They're the I think they're called the Scout Walkers. God damn it, I don't know how to.
No, that's fine. That's enough.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother. Like, it's not the big a deal. The point is that the game like encourages more aggressive play, and I like that. Like, there's this enemy that it's like this big toad thing, and you can dodge out of the way when it like lashes its tongue at you, or if you time it right, you can parry it and cut its fucking tongue off, so it can't do it anymore for the rest of the fight. Like, the options are there if you want to play defensively, but if you're an aggressive player like I am, the game rewards you for that. But it also punishes you if you fuck it up. So it's good, dude. It's good. And as a Star Wars fan, like it checked all of those boxes for me. It's dope, man. It's dope.
Nice.
That's definitely on my list. It comes from a recommendation from me. I think it's still on sale. It's on sale on Steam for like $20 right now. So go pick it up. It's definitely worth it, man. Yes, Grumble, the ones the Ewoks stole.
The ones the Ewoks stole.
Yeah, in episode 5. I think they're just called walkers. Hold up. Oh, God, you're going to make me fucking look this up now.
2019 game that well, okay, there's two of them. Okay, so there's this game that I talk about all the time. You know, I cite it as one of the greatest games ever made from 2019.
Oh, here we go.
I just want to bring up that there is a sale going on right now on Steam, and this particular game is 40% off. It's only $15 now, which is the lowest price it's ever been. That is a historical low price for Outer Wilds right now. Outer Wilds, $15 on Steam. If you've not played this game, you're fucking up, because it is, in my opinion, one of the greatest games ever made. My favorite game of all time, number one.
That's really over Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yes. And look, that game was only placed, that and Ocarina of Time, two of the greatest games of all time. Those were trumped by this game once I finished it. Like, even before I finished it, like while I was playing it, I was like, no, okay, this is like something special. Like, this is worlds better than fucking anything. I mean, $15 right now. Now look, maybe it doesn't hit you as much as it hit me, but this game fucking hit me, fucked me up for months. It was all I could think about. It's $15 on Steam right now. Outer Wilds, not the Outer Worlds. That game is fucking trash. Outer Wilds.
Trash.
It's trash, man. I went back and actually tried to play that again like a week ago, and I was like, this sucks.
You know what's funny? Like, I take it back. It is. I played Outer Worlds for a little bit when it's still on Game Pass. So I played it a bit. I got about 10 hours into it, and I thought, this isn't bad. I don't know why people are shitting on it. And then I recently, in the last like couple weeks, when I got my new computer, I went and picked up New Vegas, the one that everyone's comparing it to.
Yeah.
And holy shit. Like, I can see why people were upset. Like, I get it now. I don't think Outer Worlds is that bad. I will say Outer Worlds is better than Fallout 4 in my opinion, but it doesn't hold a candle to like what New Vegas is doing. And I can see why people were upset with it.
The main thing for me was the lack of. It just doesn't have the scale. It doesn't have the scale of any of those Bethesda games. Which is like what I like about those games is like you could just fucking go anywhere and pick anything up and like just it's like I don't know.
I don't like that there's no repercussions for what you do. Like, let me give you an example. I was playing New Vegas, and the very first mission, you know, you're in that town, and some dude from this gang is like fucking with the town because some guy that like crossed them is hiding out there. And so you have a choice. You can help that dude and like take out the guy he's trying to look for, or you can help the town hold him and his gang back because they want this guy dead. If you hold the gang back, the dude and his gang are like pissed at you. And when you meet them later in the game, they're still mad, and they bring up the fact that you killed one of their guys. And in Outer Worlds, when you cross one of the corporations, they're just kind of like, "Oh, that wasn't cool. You don't get a discount at our shop anymore."
Yeah,
and I'm just kind of sitting here like, "What? Like, where's the where's the consequence to my actions?" You know what I mean? Like, I want like, if you're gonna make a smaller game, that's fine, but make like the interactions and choices matter more. And I don't feel like they matter enough to justify how small the game is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that was the thing, because you could take anytime you had a choice in that game, you could take it like all the way. You could take it down both sides like all the way until you actually had to make the choice. And then you can be like, you know, it lets you play both sides of the field a little too much.
Yeah, I agree. But New Vegas from the beginning, it's like, dude, make your choice. Like, who do you want to help? What do you want to do? What kind of guy do you want to be? And I don't feel like I'm getting that from Outer Worlds, which is a bummer because, like, I thought by making the game smaller, they can cram more like choices into it. You know what I mean? But they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, there's a good choice and a bad choice, I feel like, in that game, and they do that a little too much. Where there's like an obvious good guy, obvious bad guy, and even that doesn't affect you too much once you make that choice. It's a huge bummer.
Yeah. So, yeah, Outer Wilds, $15. If you've not played it, you're fucking up. So
it's on my list, man. I'll pick it up probably after this podcast.
Like right now.
See how I feel. God damn it! Fine.
I guarantee you, man. I mean, okay, I can't guarantee, but I can't guarantee anything, man. But I'm telling you, the only issue I have with this game is that I will never forget it, because you want to forget it, because you can't have the same experience. Once you know the game, you can never have the same experience with it, and that's the most sad thing about it. But yeah, that's on sale. And my other favorite game, DJ Max Respect, my favorite rhythm game of all time, is also on sale. It's 65% off, which you know, a lot of people think this game's really expensive. 65% off right now. This is the lowest this game's ever been on Steam. It's $17, $18 right now on Steam. So if you like rhythm games, this is the absolute best one in my opinion. So
well, I already bought Outer Wilds, so
nice. You should get them both.
I bought it. I'm downloading it.
Yes,
I bought it. And then I'm downloading it. I will play it later tonight or tomorrow.
You are going to be dying when you play it. You will be dying to talk about it, and I'm not going to tell you shit. I'm just saying.
Stay tuned for the inevitable Outer Wilds podcast.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So
All right, I bought it. All right, I bought it. I'm downloading it. There. Grummel says he's looking forward to the New Vegas remake in the Fallout 4 engine. Me too, man. Like, I played. I'm recently playing through New Vegas the first time, and I'm digging it. I really like how the game is. The game really does give you like a million options to go about every mission. And if they can do the same thing with Fallout 4, I just hope they take the best of both worlds. You know, that they take the gameplay from Fallout 4, but the open-endedness that you have in New Vegas. But we'll see what happens.
yeah.
I don't know how far they're into that. Are they almost done, or is there still like,
No,
or is there still like a ton they got to do?
There's still, I think, a lot to that. They're re-recording all the voice lines as well. So.
Oh, are they? I didn't know they were doing that. I thought they were using all the original voice lines.
No, they can't use anything. Bethesda won't let them use anything, so they have to remake everything from scratch, including the voices. So.
That's crazy. I didn't know that.
But they put out some stuff to show it off, and they're like nailing it, especially with the voice. There's a part where you meet a guy who won the lottery. If Grumble knows what I'm talking about with this.
That's the part I'm talking about.
Yeah, and there's a part where one of his voice lines, when you say bye to him, like he's super excited, and when you say bye to him, he's like, "See ya." And they like nailed that part of it where it's like like that particular voice line doesn't match anything he says prior to that. Like the energy he has prior to that, his goodbye line doesn't match at all. And they nailed the way that it didn't match. like that's how far they're going with it. Like it's really
it's really funny you bring that up, because like that's the part I was talking about when I was saying like, because, you know, you meet him and then you meet his buddy who got second place in the lottery.
Yeah.
And they fucked him up and broke his legs.
Yeah.
And when you meet him, if you like fought back against his gang in the start of the game, he's like cussing you out. He's like, "Oh, what the fuck, man? It wasn't enough that you killed my buddy. Now you're going to come back after me. What's your fucking boner for me, man?" And he's like pissed off. I don't know if he's supposed to be mad the whole time, but he keeps like making references like, "I killed his buddies."
Yeah. Yeah. New Vegas
this is really cool.
Game.
I'm watching this. Yeah. I'm excited now.
To round out some of the other games, that was all I played, but there is some old stuff on Steam right now. It's on sale, so
yeah,
I'm gonna talk about Death Stranding here a little bit, because look, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that Death Stranding is a good game, okay? But it is a experience.
That's his review, ladies and gentlemen.
It's an experience that let's just say innovative, okay? It's an unforgettable experience. It's half off on Steam right now, $30. If you want something that you'll never forget, something incredibly unique, Death Stranding's on sale right now. Among Us, since this is not a 2020 game, I want to talk about Among Us here for a little bit.
I have yet to play Among Us. Like, my whole family is like obsessed with it. Everyone I know is talking about it. I'm like the only one who hasn't played it yet.
It's good.
Yeah.
Grumble has a recommendation, or I guess a negative recommendation. Terminator Resistance.
Oh, he says I really do not recommend Terminator Resistance. Since I saw you have on your wish list.
He says on my wish. Okay, let's talk about the wish list for a second, because I have 693 games on my wish list, and the thing about my wish list is that it's not like my wish list isn't a game, is not a list of games that I wish to have. It's more like, hey, remind myself to
check that out later.
Yeah, remind myself to check. It's more like a reminder list of like, hey, this is a thing, I should probably check it out. I have bad games on here. I have free games on here. Like, I have free to play games on here. Like, there's they're not necessarily games that I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to check this out. It's just I just want to remind myself that this exists, like Deep Space Waifu.
Yeah.
Uh,
What?
you know, uh, uh,
That's a thing? What is this?
um,
Is it a porn game?
I think so. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It's just my wish list is not. I don't. It's because he went and like bought me. He gifted me Doom Eternal. It was on my wish list, but I already have it on Bethesda.
Oh.
So I was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks for the gift, but I already have this. I just have it on there because I don't know. Sometimes I buy games twice just to have it on Steam. That's also a thing I do. Like if it's cheap enough, I'll get it on Steam. But that's what's on my wish list. All right, it's there's a lot of stuff in there that they're just reminders to me.
Oh, there you go, everyone. If you want to buy a game for Wasabi, just ask him, hey, what games do you wish you have, since your wish list doesn't fucking do that.
Actually, on my Amazon wish list, it's all like, yeah. Well, anyway,
I love it.
Among Us.
Yeah, Among Us.
You know, this game kind of hit the world, but it came out in 2018, and I for some reason blew up in 2020 because you know a lot of streamers just people started streaming it, and it's a very good game. Now I will say it's not my favorite version of this kind of game. There's another game called Split or Steal that I think does this better. It's different but the same in a lot of ways. Like Among Us is more like a multiplayer stealth kind of game, whereas Split or Steal is more of a 1v1 convince the
like
other player
game
type of thing. Yeah. So I like the battle of wits there more, because Among Us is a lot of like fucking pisses me off a little bit. But
I've seen a lot of people who are like playing together in the same room, and then when they get killed, they're like, "Oh, I just died. My buddy just died. He's playing with me, and he tells me this guy's the imposter." Like,
yeah, you really got to trust.
shitty.
You really got to trust people to play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and
yeah.
I feel like a lot of people don't do that. So, but yeah. So Among Us, that's also on sale right now. That's $4 on Steam. It's free on mobile. So, but
It's also free on Game Pass too, right? Or am I wrong on that?
it is on Game Pass now. I forgot about that. It is on Game Pass. So,
which while we're at it, if you don't have Game Pass yet in the year of our Lord 2021, you really should, man. It's the best thing ever.
It might still be $1, maybe. I don't know. For 3 months, you can get it for $1. That includes everything. That includes the streaming, so you can stream with it, and you get console and PC with that. So that's really good. That's all I have to say about the old games, I think.
Yeah, dude. I don't really have a lot to say either. On that note, man, what's game of the year and why is it Hades?
Well, okay. Wait. First, I want to just go through. I just want to go through. Wow, you really turned around on Hades, huh? I just want to go through.
Dude, yeah, dude. Like, you convinced me to pick it up, man, and I did, and it was worth it. It's good. We'll go about that later.
Last time you talked about. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I just want to go through kind of just in order of release. Just everything that came out that's worth talking about, or just as I just want to say a little something about, just to just a little recap of 2020.
Yeah.
Starting with Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Oh, that's forgot that came out.
Yeah, that came out, and I gotta say, it is the best Dragon Ball Z game that's ever come out.
I mean, if you like look at the competition.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Let's be honest here.
Like every Dragon Ball Z game has sucked badly. Now, look, I used to be a good Budokai 2 fan back in my days, but where there's so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about like Dragon Ball Fighter Z is also really fucking good, but that's like a straight like fighting game. Kakarot is like a straight.
I wouldn't call it a Dragon Ball Z game. It's a Marvel versus.
Yeah. Kakarot is a straight up like RPG. And it takes you through
the Dragon Ball RPG. Yeah.
It takes you through that entire story. And it gets like deep in the weeds, man. It gets like deep. So, if you're like into Dragon Ball Z at all, Kakarot is like that game. Like Kakarot is the one. I really like it. Now it's not like perfect. It's not great. It's not amazing. But it's really good.
Yeah. And I kind of had a feeling that was going to be the case. I saw the way the game played, and I remember thinking like that's probably going to be the best Dragon Ball Z game to come out, which doesn't really say a lot, but I mean, maybe it does say a lot depending on like if you know the history of Dragon Ball Z games.
Yeah. Well, because they've all been the same. Like,
yeah,
all been exactly the same. So it's just good to get one that just does it different and then does it well too.
Yeah. You think it's worth picking up right now? I mean, I'm looking on Steam, and right now it's like $24. You think that's a fair price for what you're getting there?
Yeah, that's probably a good price. You know, again, you got to be into Dragon Ball Z. It's not gonna, if you don't like Dragon Ball Z, it's not gonna convince you. But
yeah,
it goes like it follows that story like very closely. Like even characters that just make like minor appearances, they are represented in this game. Is actually really cool. So yeah, I like it. I like it for what it is. It's a bad game, but it's the best Dragon Ball Z game. Easily.
Yeah, and like that's fine, man. Like people who like Dragon Ball Z probably already picked it up, so
yeah. And then Dreams came out. This year.
Oh yes. That's one I wanted to play for a while, and then it came out and I was like, okay. I'll pick it up eventually. I never did.
Yeah, it's one of those Media Molecule makes Little Big Planet. And I don't know, my thing with Little Big Planet is like I enjoy playing other people's levels, but not so much. I'm not so much like on the creative side. Like I don't really go in there and I don't really make stuff. So but their tools are always like really cool that I do go in there and at least like try stuff out and always like make something that's like really dumb. But Dreams is like they take it to the next level where it's like it's just full 3D and you can make some incredible stuff. A lot of stuff that I saw come out of there was just fucking like how do you even do this?
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff in there, man. I've seen like someone redid Cyberpunk, like reimagined if it was like a PS1 game. Like there's just some crazy shit in there I've never seen before. And it's a really fun tool. And I'm in the same boat, man. Like when I was younger, I used to love making stuff when I was younger, but I don't have the time to do that anymore. So I just I have more fun playing what other people have put together, and I kind of want to pick it up just for that.
Yeah, I had a friend who was I had a friend who's like deep into making like a real like sci-fi like FPS game.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, and he's like super excited. He's into like crafting, especially like sci-fi. Like he likes building spaceships and space engineers. On
Yeah.
Steam, he likes like building spaceships and shit. So when he like shows me his stuff in dreams, I'm like, dude, this is fucking like crazy. He's trying to like make like a Halo type. Like he's trying to have like cinematics and like the original soundtrack and shit like that. I'm like, that's a lot, man. But it shows you like what goes into like actually making, like what goes into actually making a game. Like a lot of people have to like are taking it that seriously.
That's really cool, man. And I kind of want to give it a try because, like, there's so much you can do with it that I just want to play it, you know, just to see it, see what I can make, what other people have made. It's not that expensive right now, right? I think it's like $20 now on PlayStation.
Yeah, that should be pretty cheap as well. So
I really want to play it. That's another one that's on my list. Maybe when I'm done, like playing what I'm playing, I'll go and try that.
Call of Duty Warzone.
Now, I've never played Warzone, but I know it hit the world pretty hard when it came out.
Yeah. And it came by surprise as well. They didn't really. I think they teased it like a little bit, like right before it came out. But
yeah.
Especially since like that Black Ops had like its own like battle royale. Was that I don't think that was Warzone though. Was that Warzone? I know the last Black Ops had a battle royale mode. And I guess they were testing the water with that. And then Warzone came out, hit everyone by surprise, free to play, and completely like cross platform. Yeah. Now I'm not huge into it, but it's just it's great. It's surprising that Activision did, especially like made it free to play. That's something you wouldn't expect from them because they try to nickel and dime everyone. But at the same time, I guess they know it's a good business move to at least get people's foot in the door, because it's built on top of the Modern Warfare, so it makes you download that full fucking game, so it shoves that in your face for free and says, "Oh, you can play this." But yeah, battle royales, man. Crazy.
Yeah, dude, battle royales are getting so much attention. Like, it started out last year, but I feel like now with the pandemic, people are just really gravitating to them as something to do and pass the time. And the fact that most of them are like free to play, the barrier for entry is really low too,
Yeah.
Like, I know people who like didn't really get into the battle royale craze, but now that, again, the barrier for entry is so low, they're getting into it. I have cousins who like didn't really play games, and now they're all over Call of Duty and Fortnite. Like, it's another thing that changed with the gaming landscape. And no, if you like battle royale games, more power to you, man. It's not my cup of tea, but if you enjoy it, gets you through the day, man, go ahead, have fun.
Well, that's the other thing is like battle royale is like it's its own genre now, to where you can have very different kinds of battle royale, which we'll talk about later here. But
I'm excited to talk about that.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
I still haven't played that, man. It's on my list. You've been telling me to play it forever. I know I'm fucking up, dude. It's on my list. I haven't even played the first one. Like,
oh my god, man. Listen.
I know.
Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Game of the year.
Really, really.
Game of the year. So when this game came out, I had problems. It had problems.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually get to play it until much, much later. And I'm glad I'm glad I didn't get completely thrown off by how bad it was in the beginning, because when I went back to it, I couldn't stop. Like, I think it took me like maybe 3 more sittings, and there were long sittings too, and I finished it. And I just enjoyed every second of it, man. Just the visuals, the soundtrack, the gameplay. It just nails everything. Not only does it nail everything, but it's a sequel. It's a sequel to a game that was already fantastic, and it does everything better than that first game, which is rare for a sequel. Like, it's not often that a sequel comes out in anything, like in video games and movies and like music. It's rare that the follow up is ever as good as or better than the original, and this one is. It's better in every way than the original, and the original
That
was no
is,
slouch.
it's a big
So,
statement, man.
um,
That's a
so
big statement, my dude.
it's on Game Pass. I'm sure it's on sale on Steam right now. But if you have not played this, if you've not played the original, you're fucking up. I'm just say that.
With that
Um,
note, it's on my list. I will play it eventually, one day. I promise. I'll play it. And especially since it's on Game Pass, like, it's not that hard for me to go try it. While we're on the subject, though, man, if we're talking about indie games, fucking Hades. It was Doom Eternal, but I think Hades might take my game of the year, man. You were right when you told me that the combat's fantastic. I really love just that twitchy, like, really. It's really you can be aggressive or defensive. It's all on how you want to play. All the weapons are so varied and fun to use. And plus the story, man, like the story's so good for Hades. I've never played a roguelike that actually like remembers the time I died and it uses that to like bring the story forward. Like,
yeah.
I've never played a game like that before. Like, you'll like die and then go back to the beginning and Hades will like talk shit to you, or like the person that you killed before is there like, oh, no hard feelings, I'm just doing my job. And every time you go back, time passes, you talk with people, your relationship with them grows. It's really good. And the story's just, I don't want to spoil anything, but seeing Zagreus's journey to escape the underworld and having to keep doing it over and over again, it feels like a real like Greek tragedy. Like, if someone had told me this was based on a real Greek legend, I wouldn't be surprised, because the storytelling is very similar.
Yeah.
It's just,
And
god damn it, it's phenomenal.
that's another game, man. It's Super Giant. I mean, they do it's crazy because they knock it out of the park every time. I mean,
Yeah, man.
I know Pyre was their one that was like people were kind of iffy on, but even that game, if you like just go into it like trying to enjoy it, you'll see that there's a lot of like deep shit in that game as well.
Yeah, and the thing is, you have to go into it with the mindset of what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, because they don't
Like,
make the same. They've never made the same game twice, and that's the
yeah,
thing. Like, every single one of their games has like a similar aesthetic or a similar feel to it, but they play completely differently. Like Transistor is more of like a real time strategy game
Yeah.
than it is like a straight like action RPG. Um, but it looks like an action RPG, especially coming
Hmm.
after Bastion, which was an action RPG. But they look very similar. Um, you know, Hades looks like those two games, but it's completely fucking different. Um, it's really impressive what they can do uh with the same kind of look and art style, but just completely transform it into something else, something unique.
Yeah,
But
dude, they
there was
fucking they knock it out of the park, man. Again, like you said, everything they do is just they start a game up with like an idea in mind and they accomplish it.
I was
Like
going
I
in order of release here.
Oh shit, sorry.
Well, that's all right. That's all right because we can jump to that. But I pasted the in the chat there. I pasted the Wikipedia game releases thing. So if there's anything I miss, you can just follow along. If there's anything I skip over, and anyone feels like needs to be mentioned, you can just shout it out. And because look, we didn't play everything. Didn't
Yeah.
play everything, but I played fucking a lot of shit. So um, I'll try to talk about at least a little bit everything I played, like Bless Unleashed, which is the third attempt of this game to
Oh, you're telling me about that. Yeah. This like MMO that's not good, but they keep trying to make it a thing.
yeah, Korean MMO launched on PC twice and got removed twice and is now on consoles. And I played it on PS4. It's you know, it's not nothing to talk home about. Like nothing special about it. It's an MMO. It feels like it has very antiquated systems. I feel like the MMO genre has like kind of transformed in the past, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Whereas this feels it feels like classic WoW. If that's what you're into, I know a lot of people still prefer that kind of stuff, but it's super antiquated. I just don't it's just not the kind of MMO that I'm looking to play anymore. So there was someone, part of our community that was very excited about it, had me play it during our Extra Life marathon, and like we put a good amount of time into it too. So, but yeah, wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it. So, Doom
What
Eternal.
else you got?
Doom Eternal.
Yes. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. It's no secret, man, that I love Doom Eternal. That was my game of the year up until Hades came out. That is one that I thought was another fantastic game. I know it had a lot of criticisms with some of the changes it made compared to Doom 2016. It threw a lot of stuff at you, but to me, man, that's just part of the appeal. The game has specific tools that it wants you to use in specific situations, and you got to adapt or die. And I love that about the game. Like, no two fights ever feel the same. I'm constantly swapping between weapons. I'm tossing grenades, chopping dudes up with my chainsaw. I'm beating guys up. 1 minute I'm shooting out the shotgun, and I'm taking out an assault rifle and shooting him in the forehead. Then I'm taking out another shotgun to hook claw over to him like fucking Scorpion. It's so good.
And you
But
like that part of it.
I
I
do.
I fucking hated.
Yeah.
I want to go so far as to say I hated, but I just thought it was too much. I just thought it was too much,
Yeah.
man. Like, every time they added another thing, I'm like, okay, here's another key I have to memorize. Here's another thing I have to fumble with when I'm trying to like when I'm in the heat of it, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck was the flamethrower? Or what the fuck is a chainsaw? Or what the fuck was the grenade? Or what you know? It was a lot to me. It was just way too much. Whereas like I feel like the first Doom just had a good balance of that stuff where it was just like you always had you only had what you needed, and that was it. But I
see, I'm gonna challenge that by saying you had what you needed, but with that game, it was really easy to like find one, maybe two weapons, and just stick with that through the whole game.
Well, because you still had ammo. You still had ammo to worry about. So like you would run out of ammo and you would have to like switch to another weapon. And you know, I felt like that was enough. But you know, but you still had reason to use like the chainsaw. It was like it was pretty much three things. You had your gun, you had your chainsaw, and then you had the melee, the glory kills. And I felt like that was a good balance. Because you had a reason, you had the balance between, okay, if I do this, I'll get ammo. If I do this, I'll get health. And if I do this, I'll get shield or whatever the fuck it was. And like that was a good like trifecta to have. I feel like with Eternal, it's just now you have like 12 other things you can use. Or I got the fucking I got grenades, I got the flamethrower, I got the like it's just they added so much. I felt like it was just like what like it felt like too much. I felt like I was just fumbling with everything. I don't know. And then I don't know. On top of it, for me, it was it just didn't nail the beats that the original had. Where I don't know. Like I felt like the story I didn't really care about. Soundtrack's phenomenal still, but it just had like too many cutscenes and dialogue and shots that I was like, oh, this is not really what I care about in Doom, man. I just like want to just run around and shoot shit, not like have someone talk at me.
And I'll challenge that too by saying like all that stuff's like skippable. If you don't want to watch cutscenes and just rip and tear, you can skip them and just do that.
Sure, but if I'm gonna skip it, then it shouldn't be there. Like,
well, that's what I like about it, is that it does add more to the story. It's cool seeing Doom Guy's like past and his history with hell and those demons. It's really cool, dude. Like there's some scenes in there where like my jaw like dropped. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some bits in there like caught me off guard. I thought the gameplay was fine. Like it was more to memorize and more to pay attention to, but I feel like that created a more dynamic combat experience too. So I don't mind it that much. I get it's not for everybody because the game really does force you to like adapt or die. Like you need to use everything the game gives you or also get your ass kicked. And a lot of people can get past that. I'm not going to blame them for it. Like I feel like with Doom Eternal, id Software made a game that not everyone's going to like, but a lot of people are going to love. And I'm in that camp of love it.
Yeah, and I do love that game, because like when you get in the zone, man, you get in the fucking zone.
Yes.
It just fucking feels like
you
just like
the Zen
black
state
out.
is
Yeah. Like I mean that like every negative thing I say about it, it's not to its like ultimate detriment. Like it's still a fucking amazing, phenomenal fucking game. So that's, I mean, like all that said, it's still fucking when you're in it, you're fucking in it, and that's what matters to me.
Yeah, dude, and that's what I love about it. I think like that again, that Zen state you get from it is what I like. Like that's what gets me off on that game, dude. Is when you get in that zone, you know, everything slows down, the rest of the world melts away. it's just you ripping and tearing like that shit. It feels good, man. It feels good. I can't remember the last time like a game like absorbed me so much like that. And like I'm replaying it again to see if I still feel the same, and I definitely do. Like I still feel the same about that game.
Yeah. And Animal Crossing.
My wife likes it. I bought it for her. She still played it. She just played it last night. She still likes it. It's not my cup of tea, but I'm not exactly the Animal Crossing audience here, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, I didn't play it at all, so I don't really have anything to say. Now, from what I know about the game, it could have been, from what I know, it could have been better. There's a lot of things that seems like they didn't take all the way, or they just went too Nintendo with it and just didn't open things up in the way that you feel like they should be opened up, like the custom designs and the way you gotta like visit your friends and the way like the whole like co-op system works and shit like that. Like it's just too Nintendo. And that gets in the way.
That's one thing that bugged me with it. Like I wanted to play it, but because my wife and I can't have our own islands, like since she was the first one to play it, it's her island. Yeah. I'm just like living on it. So I can't, how can I word it? Anything she's picked has already been picked. Anything she's farmed has already been farmed. I'm just kind of there. I feel like I'm a guest who lives there.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I didn't like about it, because I asked her, like, is this how the other games worked? And she was like, no, you can have, like, your own little town, and your friends can come visit, and if you share the same screen, you can visit each other's town, and it seems like they locked it per system to push more of the online aspect of it. Which sucks. Like, I'm not about to fucking buy a new Switch so my wife and I can play Animal Crossing the way the earlier games let you play it. That's ridiculous.
But, you know, the thing about that game is, like, it was very much a case of, like, right place, right time.
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of people's comfort game, especially, you know, in the dire situations of 2020. That was a comforting game for a lot of people, so...
Yeah, absolutely. And like I knew that game was going to be big. You know, it's Animal Crossing. You know, I knew that was going to have a pretty big release, but it really did come out right place, right time. People were looking for social interaction and a sense of normalcy, and Animal Crossing definitely replicated that to an extent. You know, I know a lot of people have admitted to me, I've talked to them, that it was their reason to get up in the morning. You know, other than to go to work, they would get up in the morning, like pick their crops or like talk to people around the town. So good on them. You know, I'm not going to shit on Animal Crossing. I know a lot of people like to shit on it, like, oh, it's not a real video game. But dude, if it makes people happy, who cares? You know, it's a fun game, and I think it deserves all the attention it's getting.
Yeah. Bleeding Edge.
I forgot that came out this year.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forgot about this game. I played it a little bit. This is one of those games where I'm like, you know, there's something here. They didn't exactly nail it out the gate, but if they stick with it, maybe they can turn it into something. It's a MOBA from Ninja Theory, you know, guys that gave us Hellblade, and it's very unremarkable. It's really melee based mostly, and it's a lot of team focus. Like, you really got to play as a team in this one, and you know, that's kind of hard for people to do on like console when they're not like communicating and shit like that. So what you find is the people who play the game that are sticking together, sticking with their team, fucking annihilate, and the people who are not, who
Yeah.
are trying to not, who don't know what they're doing and try to go solo at it, get annihilated. Like, and that's the game. That's pretty much what it is. If your team sticks together, you win. If you don't, you lose. And I don't know. I haven't looked into this game at all since it came out, but I don't know if they've kind of tried to change anything about that. I know that they were using this game. Microsoft is using this game as like an AI kind of. They're developing some new AI stuff to help out with how AI works in video games, and they're using this as like, since it's such a team-based game, they're trying to code AI that's good at working as a team. And that's a real positive thing, I think. If you can,
Yeah.
make game AI better, that'll go a long way as for like making things feel more realistic. People talk about the AI and like fear still.
It's funny you say that, because like they're not doing anything like too. I have like a whole theory on this. I don't know if you have time to go into it, but they're not really doing anything that's too out of the ordinary. Like,
Yeah.
it's advanced for the time, but a big part of it too is that the AI had this, like, how can I word it without sounding like a jackass? The AI had a lot of pre-scripted like dialogue. So, it created this illusion that it was smarter than it was, when the AI was like, oh, he's behind the desk. He's above us over the railing, like the whole game took place indoors. So there's only a finite things they can say.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what created this illusion that it was smarter than it was. Because you're like, oh, they're working together. When really it's not that hard to program it in to just say these pre-written dialogues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've met an AI that once I figured out how it worked, that really impressed me. Also, let's be honest, too, again, with fear, the levels are small, self-contained, so there's not a lot for the AI to get lost on or trapped in. It's still good, don't get me wrong, it's a great experience, but you put that shit into something like Fallout, or Mass Effect, a bigger game, I don't think the AI is going to work as well as everyone remembers it when you put into something bigger. So good on Microsoft for putting out something like that. Like, I'd love to see like smarter AI in video games, something that can be on par playing with a person. I think the closest I've seen to something like that, and I think it counts, as Killer Instinct's shadow player system. Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah. Where you train it based on how you play, and then you can send it to other people.
Yeah, I played around with some of Killer Instinct shadows, like other people's shadows before, and I was impressed with how well it was doing. I was able to train my own shadow and play against it, and I was able to see like my own like weaknesses, and it's not perfect, I'm not playing myself, but it's as close as I can get to sparring with myself and seeing like my own tells, my own weaknesses, my own habits that I stick with. I was pretty impressed with it. Like that's something I would love to see and adapted for bigger games like first-person shooters or puzzle games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a little off topic there, but
Oh, that's good. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, man. Tell us in the comments like what AI impressed you.
There's a game coming up that has very good AI. So.
Oh yeah.
About that, but Final Fantasy VII Remake. Here's a game that has very bad AI. And it sucks because you don't really. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Remake. So look, you're not going to please everyone with this. With this, right? Because there's people who have expectations of, well, I want it to be the old game, and there's people who are coming in new who want it to be something completely different. So what they did was they straddled the line in between and said, okay, we're going to make it like half action, half RPG, turn-based shit, and I don't think it works in any way.
No, not at all. I've only played the demo, but when I've been told like the gameplay wasn't tweaked too much in the demo, it's leaning too hard in both ways without committing to something. It doesn't give me enough battlefield control to justify its like slowing down time, issuing commands like command system. But I also can't cancel out of an attack into a dodge. So that doesn't justify the action system either.
Yeah.
Like it feels like a sloppy, like, how can I word it? A sloppy compromise of two systems that don't work together.
Yeah. And
which is funny because like Transistor, you can argue is very similar. And I think Transistor nailed it with trying to do this like half action, half strategy, turn-based system.
But also in Transistor, you don't have to like worry about other party members.
That's true.
Like that's the thing about this game is that when you're not in control of the other characters, they're doing their own shit, and they're often not doing the shit that you want them to do.
Yeah.
Like Barrett, for the fuck of me, for fuck's sake, Barrett, like do your goddamn job. You're the only asshole with a cannon on his arm. Take out the ranged assholes. You know, that kind of shit. So I don't like if you give me a game that's real time, I don't want to have to juggle between multiple characters. And if I am going to juggle between multiple characters, then I want everything to stop completely. I want to choose my moves, and then I want the actions to happen. But that's not what this game does. Like position matters a lot because it's like a 3D field, so you have to position yourself appropriately. But once you take control of a different character, the AI takes control, and then they'll fucking reposition themselves. It's the combat is like my biggest gripe with this fucking game.
I know, man. Like you're not the only one to complain about it. I've heard a lot of complaints about it. I fucking have some complaints about it.
It's actually my only gripe with this game. Like I feel like if the combat system was good, this would be like much higher placed. Like that's the only thing holding it back for me is the combat system. Everything else in this game is absolutely, well, almost everything else. Graphically, they put the attention where they wanted it to go. So if you like look at any like a fence or like walls and doors and shit, the texture work is bad. It's bad.
Oh yeah.
It's a good looking game until you start like looking at it. Like they put a lot of attention in the main characters and the effects. There's a lot of effects that kind of mask how bad everything else looks. But it's not that bad. Once you start looking at it, you're like, oh man. Like they'll zoom in on a fence and you're like, oh my god, that looks so bad. But everything else, like the story is phenomenal, man. The characters, like they put so much attention into characters that didn't have any attention to them in the original, to really just give things a lot more meaning, a lot more feel to them. And I added a lot more context where there wasn't any in the original. They turned a 6, 7, 8 hour section of the original game into a fucking 70-hour experience. Which is fucking incredible. Cause yeah, I went
so
back
what's your opinion on that? Cause you're saying it's incredible, but a lot of people felt like, oh, they just padded the game out. Like, are you in team, like it feels padded, or are you in team that it adds more to the game?
There's padding, but it's meaningful though. In my opinion. I don't know. Like,
like it's world building and
well, because if you go back to the original, you play it and you're like, man, you feel like there's a lot of missing context in the original. And there is like, there's just a lot of shit that happens in that game. And you're like, okay, wait, why are we doing this? Why is this happening? What's the state of the world right now? Like you have no idea, but they fill in so many blanks are filled in that game. Like you play the original, you don't understand that there's a war going on outside of Midgar. There's a war going on where you don't get that at all in the original. Whereas in the remake, no, that's one of the main points of contention is there's a war going on, and this is what Shinra's doing, and this is what Wutai's doing, and this is where all the pieces fit in. It just the context is needed there, and I think it does a really good job of explaining that stuff. Like soundtrack, phenomenal. Probably my favorite soundtrack this year.
Ooh, that's a big statement, my man.
They take all that music and not only remaster it and like redo it, but they remix it. So like
yeah, you're telling me about that.
They turn everything into different genres. So like there's like a jazz version of this song, and then there's an EDM version of this song, and there's a metal version of this song, and a hip hop version of this song, and they mix it into the gameplay so well that like it just fits so well. It's really cool. I really enjoy it. So like it pleases people who know that soundtrack, who know the original soundtrack, and if you're like new to it, it all sounds like refreshing and it fits. It's one of my favorite games this year. Even though the combat system fucking sucks, I hope they completely redo that for the next game or the next part of it, whenever the fuck that is. They take the story in places that they do some stuff with the story that's like, okay, well, I'm excited to see where this goes. So, and yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where it goes and what they do with it in the next 20 years. So,
Yeah, dude, and I'm excited to see what they do with it too. Like this, from what I've read about it, this game has how can I word it? This game has done such a good job, like just being like a teaser of what's going to happen next, that I can't wait to see what happens next, you know?
Yeah. Because, yeah, with what they did with the story there at the end, they can fucking do anything. So,
yeah.
It's exciting to see. So,
right on. That was the Final Fantasy 7 hour.
Yeah. I thought we got through that pretty quick. I don't know how long we were talking about that, but I thought that was pretty quick. Phantasy Star Online 2.
Oh, here we go.
So, if you don't know, Phantasy Star Online, one of my favorite games of all time. Phantasy Star Online 2 came out in Japan like, I don't know, a decade ago. And I've been playing it since then. It finally came out in the US this 2020. And I gotta say, man, I have not been playing it as much as... Here's the thing. Okay, I've been playing that Japanese version for years. All right, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a good game, because that game's like 10 years old. So back then it was fantastic. Back then it was great. But this is that game though, from like a decade ago, and it just doesn't. It's an old game, man. It's an old game that they released in 2020 as if it was new. Now look, it's a free to play game, so I still hold the opinion that it is the best free to play pseudo MMO. It's not really an MMO, but it's the best free to play game that you can play. In terms of like how much customization they allow you, just how much like content there is. Every like month they're doing like a new like seasonal event that's going on. Every time you log into that game, there's something new going on. Some new outfits and costumes. People call it Fashion Star Online. because there's just no two characters look the same ever in that game. Like everyone looks completely unique, and that's what I like about it. Is the customization is just it's unparalleled in anything. And to do all that free to play is just it's impressive to me. So that's why I put so many hours into it. I have like, I don't know, 800 something hours in the Japanese version, not so much in the US version because, like, I don't know, I've already done it all. They're Sega's making a new Genesis, so Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis, or whatever the fuck they're going to call it.
I heard about that. Yeah,
it's a complete overhaul. It's what they should have done to this game instead of releasing it as it is now. They should have just waited a year and said, "New Genesis, your fingers can move." That's how old this game is. Your fingers are stuck together like Vice City.
Oh shit! I was trying to figure out what you meant by that. I'm like, what? Like your hands are positioned in the same place the whole time? Is that how you don't play games? When you brought up Vice City, I was like, oh,
yeah. That's how big that's how big this
some
is.
Jank. That's some jank, dude.
So I'm excited for that, but yeah, PSO2. Now I can tell you it's a good game, but it's I like it. I like it. So Streets of Rage 4.
That's one I liked.
Great.
That's one I played.
Yeah, I played through it in co-op, and boy, that game fucking. It starts off like, starts off pretty simple, but then it quickly ramps up in difficulty. Oh
yeah.
To the point where I was getting a little pissed off. I was like, okay, this is fucked up.
Yeah, that game gets way harder than it has any right to be. And it's literally just, were you playing as God damn it, what's his name? Blonde guy. Were you playing as
No, I was I started out as Cherry, who's the only character that can sprint. Which I didn't know because I started with her, so I'm like, oh, everyone can sprint. And when I changed my character, I was like, why can't I fucking sprint? Like every character has a different ability, and so they play pretty differently from each other.
I was surprised because when I started, I was playing as Axel, I think is his name. Yeah, the blonde guy.
Yeah.
And he does not have a sprint. He does not have a a way to dodge attacks. If you want to dodge an attack, you have to like do your like health draining super move and then earn your health back. He's really tough. And I was getting my ass handed to me. And then I played as Adam, who has shorter combos. And he doesn't have a run, but he has like a quick like dash, like a boxer, like dash forward, dash back. And the game basically turned to easy mode after that.
Yeah, it's.
I was able to clear up parts that were whooping my ass. I was able to clear them up without getting hit. It was insane, dude.
You can unlock the classic characters too.
Yeah.
And so I think what happened as me and my co-op partner continued playing, I eventually unlocked Classic Adam. So when I started trying every character, he ended up on like the new Adam, and I ended up on Classic Adam, and we were just fucking whooping ass, dude. I mean, it's like crazy how strong he is compared to everyone else. But yeah, that game is really good. Soundtrack slaps as expected. Yeah, it's fun. It's difficult. It's Streets of Rage.
Dude, it's a good game. The soundtrack's good. Just play as someone who can dash. That's it. Or just, I guess, fuck around with your characters, man. You'll find a character you like, and
yeah
some of them I could not Yeah, I could not. I was in the same boat you were when you were telling me like this game's way too fucking hard. How am I supposed to do this? And I switched characters, and I was like, oh, it's easy mode now.
Yeah.
Still a solid game though. I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Like it's phenomenal, and it's on Game Pass, so fucking go check it out.
Yeah.
No reason to check it out.
Minecraft Dungeons.
That's also on Game Pass. I'm laughing because I almost played it last night.
It's not a bad game. It's not bad.
It's not. It's a Diablo clone. I don't want to sound insulting, but it's basically baby's first Diablo, which isn't a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I don't want to sound like a jackass or anything by saying that. You know, everyone's got to start somewhere, man.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me about it being a Minecraft game is that there's no mining and there's no crafting. So
yeah, I was weirded out that wasn't like at least incorporated somehow into it.
Yeah. I mean, fucking even Steve and Smash Brothers, you can mine and craft, so yeah.
That's what weirded me out the most, man. Like I thought, oh, this can be interesting if they somehow associated the excuse me, the hiccups. They somehow associated like the roots of Minecraft with it, and they didn't.
Yeah. Now it's not bad at all. I mean, if you're just looking for, you know, an easy game, just lean back and play a little bit. You know, it's okay. It's an all right game. Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, or if you're a younger gamer too, like, you know, if you're a younger gamer and you know you like Minecraft, you know, if you like that, try out Torchlight or Diablo. You know, there's other games out there that are very similar to that. If you like the way that feels,
yeah.
That's why I'm not gonna shit on it too hard. It was supposed to be like an easier action RPG for younger players, and that's exactly what we got with it. So
yeah,
not gonna shit on it here for not being what I wanted, but for doing what it wanted very well.
Valorant.
Never played it.
It is it's like a cross between it's from the guys that bring you League of Legends, and it's like it's a cross between Counter-Strike and Overwatch, and I don't like it.
You're telling me about that.
Mostly because I'm bad at it, but I don't know. I just don't like the I don't know. I don't like the pacing of it. Really, is I guess what it comes down to is you gotta like tiptoe. Your footsteps make a lot of noise, so you have to like tiptoe everywhere so you don't make footsteps.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just don't like playing like that. I like running and gunning. I'm a very much you know, a kid who grew up on Halo and Unreal Tournament and shit like that. And so the idea of that I have to go slow is just I'm just not with that. But people love it. It seems to be pretty successful, free to play mashup of that kind of stuff. Also, I don't like games that have abilities on like characters and shit. I just yeah, I don't know.
Well, I don't mind it. I mean, to each their own. It's gotten pretty popular. There are people that like it. I saw some of it. It's not my cup of tea either.
Yeah. Well, I don't like abilities mixed with like the Counter-Strike stuff. Like I either have to be good at shooting or I have to be good at like abilities and shit, or like, I don't know. Like Overwatch is like a good middle ground where it's not really about the shooting, it's about the strategy of
it's about playing your role.
Yeah. Whereas Valorant's more like, no, it's a shooting game with bullshit in it, and I don't like that. So yeah. Okay, here we go.
I love that. It's a shooting game with bullshit in it. That's a great way to describe it.
Like, you're
not wrong. I'm not shitting on it.
You can be the best motherfucker getting headshots, and then someone shoots a fucking arrow through a wall, and you're like, oh great, like this is bullshit. I mean, if that's what you like, then that's what you like. But I don't like it. So, um, The Last of Us Part Two.
Ooh, here we go. It's a good game. It's a really good game. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on it because it's a good game. I do feel like other games deserved some of these Game of the Year awards more. But Last of Us is a solid game, man.
Okay, here's what I will say about this. I cannot fault a game for, at least for me, for having just one major flaw. Like we said about Final Fantasy VII Remake, the one major flaw in that was the combat. Everything else was shined in that game. You know, The Last of Us Part 2, its one major flaw is the story, and maybe the way it tells its story, I think, is the bigger flaw. Everything else is impeccable, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's why it deserves, in my opinion, it deserves every single accolade it's getting, because it is truly that much better in everything else it does than everything else.
Here's my caveat to that game. I think it's a good story.
Maybe not the gameplay.
The story's pretty good.
Maybe not the game. The gameplay is like not phenomenal, but it's also
not
bad.
But my logic is like, The Last of Us is a story that I could read in a book or watch in a movie. And people argue like, well, you're playing as Abby or Ellie when you're doing these things. Like, what is that really doing for you, though? Other than reading it from her perspective. You can get the same thing like reading a book and have it being told from another character's perspective. Whereas you play a game like Hades, and I know I'm coming back to this, that story in Hades only works as a roguelike video game. You're not going to get the same effect. If someone made a Hades movie or a Hades TV series, something would be lost in translation. Whereas if someone did the same thing with Last of Us, I mean, they're working on a Last of Us TV series right now for HBO, and everyone's excited for it, which is fine. The story's the best part of those games, but nothing's going to get lost in that translation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can get a lot of the same experiences, whereas a game like
and that's
Hades
what I'm saying.
or like, Undertale, you don't lose that.
That's what I'm saying. The story that's there, I'm not too fond of.
Yeah.
But everything else that game does, like the attention to detail, I think sums up like everything else in that game. There's not a single game that comes close to the attention to detail that game has. I mean,
yeah, and I agree with that. Like, that's something that's the game should be applauded for. Like, Abby's character is scared of heights, and if you like stare down, like if you're in a high place and you look down, she experiences vertigo, the depth of field changes, she starts like shaking and breathing, her aiming gets fucked up. Like, that's cool. Like, that's something I think is really cool.
Just like the audio design, the graphic design, the animations, the voice acting, the everything. Like I said, its individual components vastly outweigh everything else that came out this year. But I think it's lesser. It ends up lesser in the sum of its parts. Because like, the gameplay is just, it's better than the original. It plays better than the original. Like, I did have fun playing it. But it's not the gameplay is not as good as other games. And then the story is definitely not as good. Like I said, this game would have been fine if it would never been made, because it devalues, I think, the first game. It just devalues the ending of that first game, I think, and it just doesn't really pay off ultimately. But it's still one major flaw that I think it still has a high place in my top list of the year. Just compared to like a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, if you talk about crunch, there's a lot of games that get crunched on, but they have nothing to show for it. Whereas like this game, I mean, I'm sure the people who fucking slaved over this game are extremely proud at the product that they end up putting out. So, and
and I'm not gonna shit on it for that. Like, I just I like what you said about it being not worth some of its parts. Like, everything that it does a lot right. The voice acting's phenomenal. The environmental work is really good. But when you put it all together, I think the package you get from it is a little lackluster with and it's not just like what I was expecting, but compared to what else I've seen this year, again, like pure gameplay, like Doom Eternal had much better moment-to-moment gameplay, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I know, like, it's coming from someone who values like gameplay over very heavily. That's where I'm coming from with it. It's a good game. It deserves a lot of the accolades it got, but I am upset that like it still got Game of the Year, or it still took a lot of Game of the Year awards.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not. I don't want anyone to sit here like, oh, Richard hates Last of Us. Like, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. I don't hate Last of Us 2. But I do think like other games deserve that title, or at least should get more attention. Because Last of Us 2 did take a lot of attention away from pretty much anything that came out this year.
Yeah.
Except for Cyberpunk, but Cyberpunk got a different kind of attention this year.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Trackmania. Don't have a lot to say about this other than they put out a new Trackmania. So I am like a fan of Trackmania. They're like, so if you don't know what Trackmania games are, they're like trials games, but for like, you know, for like driving. And they've been around for a while. The older Trackmania games had something special because they had a lot of room for custom servers, which led to a lot of just dumb fucking bullshit. And that's the dumb bullshit that you want. It's a lot of bad EDM and a lot of bad EDM remixes. And, like, people can have custom horns and they can have custom car models. So you'll see a guy that's like has Sonic the Hedgehog as his car model and shit like that. And
which is cool. I love that. Yeah. I love stupid bullshit like that.
This new Trackmania doesn't allow for any of that, and that's a bummer.
That's a bummer. Can you imagine if like Little Big Planet was like, oh, here's Little Big Planet 4 now with pre-made assets?
Yeah, that's basically what it is. But the game's free to play, and or like you can have like it has like a subscription model. To where like
I know that was a huge point of contention.
I haven't looked at this game in a while, but there are custom servers, and it seemed like they were starting to add some of the bad shit, well, the shit that you want. It seemed like they were getting into like custom horns at the very least, and custom like models, but not to the level of where you want it to be. So it's a bummer, but it's still a good track racing, trials game. It still does that very well. The thing about like Trackmania Turbo is that they consoleized it a lot to kind of get it on PS4 and Xbox One, and you know, that kind of that wasn't that was the wrong way to go completely. With this one, they do have custom servers and all that kind of shit. But I think they're still trying to get it to where it needs to be. I'm not sure if it's there yet though. But yeah, Trackmania.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon 2.
See, that's one I haven't played. I played the first Curse of the Moon, and I liked it. Everyone keeps telling me that Curse of the Moon 2 is just that, but better.
It's that, but better.
Yeah.
I would also go so far as to say it's better than Ritual of the Night, but you know, I'm the kind of motherfucker that.
Yeah.
Look,
Continue.
Continue. When you go around using the term Metroidvania, there's a certain expectation that goes through my mind from the Vania aspect of things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm of the opinion that there's no Vania in those games. It's all just Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Metroid. So Curse of the Moon is your Castlevania. Like, that's the fucking Castlevania that I'm expecting. The hard ass fuck, balls to the wall. Like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm gonna break my fucking controller type shit. Like, that's what this game is, and I love it for that.
Yeah, and I was the same way with the first Curse of the Moon, because it went from like this trying to be Metroid to this like obstacle course style like hard platformer, and I like that.
It's Castlevania. That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where I don't understand. I have the same opinion. I'm like, where does the term Metroidvania come from? If Metroid's the one that did it, Castlevania did it after Metroid did.
Yeah.
Like, why does it get to share the name?
I mean, I guess because like that game, Symphony of the Night specifically, like popularized it. I don't know, recontextualized it in a kind of RPG form, to where, you know, you're killing monsters and getting experience points and leveling up and shit like that. And I think that's the Vania part. Castlevania is not an RPG, right? Because RPGs are easy. I have this thing in RPGs as well. Like, RPGs are not like difficult games because you can just trivialize everything just by leveling up. You level up, everything's easy. So, Castlevania is not like, they're not RPGs. Like, they're not easy games. Symphony of the Night is an RPG. It's an easy game. It's not a Castlevania game. So that's where my issue with the terminology comes from. But they did recontextualize it into this RPG form of Metroid, to where, I don't know, maybe like you can use a different term like Metroid RPG type shit. I don't know. But Curse of the Moon 2, Castlevania as fuck, and phenomenal game. Soundtrack, baller. Yeah, that's one of the best games of the year.
I'll definitely check it out, man. Like, I like the first one, and I feel like if I like the first one, I like the second one. I'll definitely check it out. While we're on the subject, do you know if they announced like a Ritual of the Night like sequel? I know there's like talks about making that a franchise, but I don't think it did well enough to warrant it.
I'm not sure. I haven't finished that game. I need to go back and finish it. Either. But I don't know. It was a little too Symphony of the Night for me. Or, you know, like, it's very Symphony of the Night. I mean,
yeah, and I think, uncontroversial opinion, I think Symphony of the Night is the weakest of those non-linear Castlevania games. Yeah, there, I said it.
Yeah. Well,
I know it's not a popular opinion, but I feel like it. When you look at the DS games that came out, the Game Boy Advance games that came out, I think those blow Symphony of the Night out of the water, man.
Yeah. Well, especially since like Ori is like the pinnacle, in my opinion, of Metroidvania. But
I got to give it to Guacamelee, dude. I think like
there that you know
again,
what? Yeah. I'll give them bonus points for originality.
yeah, I like the combat system. The platforming's really good. It kind of reminds me of Zelda too. Like you go into a dungeon, you get an ability, you use that ability through the whole dungeon,
Yeah.
and the very last dungeon using a combination of all the tools you got. Like I love that about that game.
Yeah. Close second for Guacamelee. Rocket Arena.
So you liked Rocket Arena?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Um, not many people not many people did. So,
Yeah.
I bought this game on Steam because well, okay, so here's the thing. Okay, so Rocket Arena, if you don't know, let's take the history. It was an old Quake mod, and there's certain expectation when you call a thing Rocket Arena. There's certain expectations that come with that. Uh, Problem is that this game does not meet those expectations, and they were charging. I forgot how much it was originally, but it is not.
It was something like $30. It wasn't cheap.
Yeah. It was $30. The game has microtransactions, and it just was like bare bones as fuck. Basically,
Yeah.
like it's like Overwatch, but what if everyone had like a single shot weapons, or like just they all had different weapons. That the goal was like a power stone to kind of knock your opponent out of the arena. Um, And it's not a bad game. The problem is people were really salty at the price and the microtransactions. So it didn't do very well. It's still not doing very well. I can tell you that there are only 50 people playing it now on Steam, and the price has significantly dropped to $5.
Oh yeah. It's free on PlayStation Plus this month too. Like
Oh yeah.
it's they're trying to get the game out there, and it's actually from what I was watching you play, it's a cool concept.
Yeah, it
It's
ended
just
up like not being a terrible game, but the whole problem is
awful execution.
you need an audience, and just the audience is not there. There's just no player base for this thing. Um, so like it's destined to fail just because of that. Because
Yeah.
the pricing model, ultimately the pricing model was just not. I think if they launched it for free with microtransactions and skins and shit, I mean, it's a proven method, right? Like you make your game free and then charge for skins and like the premium, and make your things look cool. Proven business model, proven to work
Yeah.
time and time again.
Yeah, it
But
works.
EA is published by EA, and they just want to like nickel and dime everything at every opportunity they get, to the detriment of everything they put out. So, here's another game that could have been good, but bad business practices ultimately was its downfall. So, yeah. Ghost
Yeah,
of
it's just a huge
Tsushima.
bummer. Oh yeah, there we go. That's one everybody wants to talk about, right?
Yeah, and let me tell you. Okay, so look, man, it's not. I don't think this is the greatest game of the year, but it is one of the best games of the year. It's one of them. Like, um, it is a great game. Here's the thing, though. Okay, so look. Okay, so look. When you're talking about this game, it's gonna come up in the same conversation as a like an Assassin's Creed, right? Because it's an open world game that's very much reminiscent of one of those games. almost got like aspects of Far Cry in as well, where there's different like outposts that you gotta like clear out and take control of. Like it's one of those games. Um, the combat is very satisfying, pretty I would say reactive, in that you get different stances, but they don't mean anything until you're like fighting against very specific enemies. And it's just, and that's all there is to it. You fight against this kind of enemy, you use this stance. This enemy, it's that stance. It's that's all there is to it. It's just super reactionary, just rock paper scissors type shit. It's the biggest thing, the best thing this game has going for it, in my opinion, is the visuals. Like, it just has very striking visuals. It just looks phenomenal. It looks amazing. It has this aesthetic, and it nails it throughout the entire experience. That's pretty much. It's just a very consistently good game. It doesn't like, it doesn't hit any crests, and it doesn't drop in any troughs. It's just a very flatline, stable. Here's a stable 7 out of 10 experience. It's a good game all the way through.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say about that. People were like head over heels of this game, and I don't get it. Like, there's a story here that I didn't feel connected to at all. There's characters that I don't feel connected to at all. It's not to say that it's bad. It's there and it's good, and you get what you want out of it. And then they released a free update that added this co-op multiplayer add-on, which is very cool. Thumbs up for that. But
so still something Last of Us 2 hasn't done. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
That a lot of people have been asking for.
Yeah. But it's just good. It's just, it's good junk food. It's a good junk food game. And there's like nothing wrong with that. But that's really all I had. That's all I got out of it. And I don't know. A lot of people got a lot more out of it. I don't know. But that was for me. That's what it was.
Good. Thank you for the honest opinion.
A couple more here. Okay.
Yeah.
Carrion.
Oh, that's been on my list. That is one that's been on my list.
Carrion. It's a well, again, for lack of better terms, it's a Metroid game, but you play the villain. So it's like a reverse. It's like a reverse take on like, I don't know, like an escape. It's an escape mission as like a Metroid game where you play the villain. And it's a very cool concept. It's very short too. It's only about, I don't know, like 6 hours, like max. So you can finish it in one sitting. And it's really cool. It's again, it's another junk food game where you get it. It has a very unique experience, and then it's over. And it's really cool for that. Don't have much else to say about it, other than it's really cool.
Yeah, it's on my list too. I've wanted to play it for a while. I like games that are very unique in how they play, and a game where you play as like this amorphous blob monster thing. Like, that sounds awesome to me, and I want to give it a try.
Hellpoint.
I don't know that one.
I streamed this game once and only once, and that was all I needed. It's a Soulsborne type game, but
yes, I remember that one. The gimmick is that like you're in hell.
Yeah, but it's like hell. It's like a sci-fi version of hell.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I didn't really. This game didn't have any lasting appeal on me. I'm not really a Souls fan, so also like I had someone coming in co-op and just like handhold me through most of it. So, but like I got to see a lot of the game and I didn't do anything for me. So,
God, you weren't kidding. You played a lot of games this year. Shit.
Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout.
See, that's one we both played, and we liked it a lot in the beginning, but they didn't really do anything to keep us in. Was the big problem we both had.
Yeah.
Yeah, like after an afternoon of playing, we had seen all the modes they had available, and we'd already come up with techniques to get past them really quickly. And
this
they
game
didn't
would
really update
benefit
or anything
from-
else.
It's once you see a stage. So if somehow you don't know what this game is, and we were talking about battle royales. It's a battle royale game. That's completely unique, and that's what I like about it. It's a battle royale game that takes the form of like a Takeshi's Castle or a most extreme elimination challenge, where it's you versus 99 other people. I don't think it's 99. I think it's like 60. It's 60 players running an obstacle course at the same time, and there's different stages, and you battle out to be number one. And after every stage, a certain amount of people get eliminated, and the main problem I have is that every stage is the same. Not everyone is the same. They have like a certain amount of different stages, and it cycles through them at random, but you can get the same stage over and over again. And once you see it once, you've already like developed a strategy on it, so you know how to tackle it the same way every single time. Now there's a certain like physics. There's physics to the game that kind of prevent you from being able to execute the same way every time, especially when you're fumbling around with 60 other players and everyone's knocking each other over and shit like that. So the execution will be different every time, but the methodology that, the approaches you take will pretty much be the same. Once you watch a tutorial video on here's how you do this, you're going to do it that way. You're going to at least try to do it that way every single time. And that was my problem, is there just wasn't enough variety. This game would benefit from a certain amount of randomization. A certain amount of unpredictability would go a long way in this game. So like I kind of fell off of Fall Guys pretty quickly. Once I got my first win, I was like, oh, I'm done for good. I did jump back into it like a week or two ago just to see some of the new stuff. You can filter out they have new modes now, like a seasonal mode that you can filter out and just play that mode, which is a good step. But you're still getting the same levels just from that season, so you still see the same stuff over and over again. It's it's good, but I feel like it came and went, and I don't know.
I agree.
It's like a downswing now.
Yeah, it definitely came and went. It got the hype it needed at the start, but it didn't do anything with it. It didn't capitalize on it and carry on with it.
Yeah.
To keep you going. And that's the biggest bummer, because like you're right, like it would have, the best game modes in it, in my opinion, were the ones that had some of that randomization.
Yeah. There's some ones where they'll split you off into teams, and those always fucking are like super stressful because now you have to rely on other people. But those are the ones that those are good ones, because you can like, it gives you a chance to like fuck other people over and just play it differently. It's not just running the course. It's like, oh, now I can like be a thief and like steal eggs from these guys, or like, You know, I can play defense or play offense and stuff like that. It gives you a certain amount of strategy. Um, but yeah, there's just not enough of variety.
I agree, and that's something that the game could have benefited from. Hopefully they can do enough updates to warrant going back to it, but I doubt it. I think their time in the light came and went, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens.
Fast and Furious Crossroads. This is absolutely the worst game of the year. If there was an award for worst game of the year, it would be this. It is a bad. Oh man! Incredibly, this game released at $60. I bought it, played through it. Got a full playthrough up on the YouTube, Gameoverse.com/YouTube. Bad, terrible game. It feels like a PS3 game that released in 2020 for $60. It has an online mode with no one playing, and yeah, and it fucking sucks. It sucks. So
I don't have anything to say about that. I knew it was going to be awful.
Yeah, well, we all knew it was going to be
surprised
awful.
it was bad. Yeah.
We didn't know to what capacity, and yeah, surprising.
Yeah.
Surprising. Hyperscape. This is the Ubisoft Battle Royale.
I remember that one. You said that one was awful too.
Bad. Don't like it at all. Apparently they've added like a team deathmatch mode, or they will be adding a team deathmatch or something like that. It seems like they know how bad the game is, and they're trying to like switch things up a little. So I'm interested to see what that's like, but it's a battle royale. You know, again, I like to see battle royales that kind of change what it means to be a battle royale, and this game does not do that at all or whatsoever. You know, it just has this sci-fi aesthetic, which, you know, that's kind of unique, but the aesthetic is not enough. The game sucks. I hate it. And it has like abilities too, where like you can pick up like hacks, and like you can kind of use those during the match. And it has this like Twitch component where like Twitch viewers can like vote on different ways to fuck the game up. But like I don't even know how well that's doing, since I'm not sure how many people are playing this game anymore, because it kind of fell off pretty hard. So yeah, not a fan of that one. Spiritfarer.
You played that one.
Yeah. So Spiritfarer is it's like it's weird because this game I would kind of say is what I wanted Animal Crossing to be. It's the game I wanted Animal Crossing to be, and what I mean by that is it's a very feel-good game where you're forming these relationships with different. You play the role as the ferryman. You're the ferryman, and you're taking spirits, and you're kind of taking care of them after they've died. You're taking care of them until they're ready to cross over into to the other side. So
yeah.
And the form they take is a bunch of different animals is the form they take. So while you're taking care of them, you're kind of forming these bonds with them and kind of doing things for them and learning of their story and their backgrounds. And that's the thing that Animal Crossing misses, is that you don't really form bonds with any of the villagers in your town.
Yeah.
But with this, you really form emotional bonds with the spirits that you take care of here.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah. It's a really charming game. It's a real feel good experience, you know. That's I don't know. That's really all I gotta say about it. There's not really it's not really exciting. It's not a real exciting game.
Yeah.
There's no combat. There's really no action. It's just you doing tasks for spirits and kind of getting their story until they're ready to cross over, and then you know,
Which is fine. Like that's a fine experience to have.
yeah, it's real cozy. There's a hugging mechanic where you hug them, and then you know, it just makes them feel good. It's just a feel good game. It's a very pleasant experience. So
that's good.
Yeah.
What else have you played?
Tell me why. We're getting to the bottom. We're getting to the bottom of this. So,
all right.
Tell me why. I feel like this game, for some reason, Don't Nod's games are not getting a lot of exposure. So, there's a real marketing bumble going on with Don't Nod's games right now. And Tell Me Why is one that came out exclusive on Xbox and PC. It's just a dialogue heavy you know, adventure game where, you know, your choices, you make a lot of choices, and the whole premise is that you're a kid that has that was transgender at a young age, female to male, and then you went to juvenile detention for a number of years, and you're coming back to your old hometown, and they had a falling out with their mother and your sister, and things have changed, and you're kind of trying to figure out what happened and stuff like that. It's a real roller coaster ride of a story, and they kind of make some unique mechanics, and you have a twin sister, and part of the mechanics are kind of recalling the past events through the eyes of the twins, but the twins remember everything differently. So you kind of have to choose between, oh, I remember it this way. Oh, no, that's not how I remember it. I remember it this way. So a lot of the choices you make are like direct oppositions of each other. Like, oh, which one do we go with? Do we go with this or we go with that? And there's this book of stories that you and your sister wrote as children, and there's a lot of puzzles that are like woven into the stories, and there's like 10 stories in this journal, and they like weave in puzzles, so you have to like read the entire story, and then there's like puzzles like woven into the stories, which is like a really cool, unique thing. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. The story, the overall story is like really good. It's a slow burn, but once you get through like the first episode, you really get connected to the story. Yeah, really enjoyed that one. So unfortunate, they actually put out they put out another game like last month. And
oh yeah,
no one knows anything about it, because they're fucking up with the marketing, man. They're just not they're not marketing these games. I don't know why, but yeah. So that was a good one.
I'll check it out. It's on Game Pass. Like,
yeah.
I just haven't had time to give it a try.
Wasteland 3.
Now that's one you liked. I remember you talked about that one a little bit on the podcast the same week that came out.
Yeah, I like it, but it's not my style of game.
Mm-hmm.
Especially since I don't know, what I don't like about these kinds of games is that they're the percent chances. It's this thing I don't like about XCOM, is when like you have a 99% chance to hit something, and of course you miss, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of like strategy games, strategy RPGs, strategy anything. I'm just like, as soon as you put the word strategy in it, I'm done. Or like CRPGs or anything where I just have to like, where it's just super slow paced and I have to like calculate everything. I don't like having to use calculators and shit, and that's what this game is. That's not to say that it's not good, because it's really good, but it's just not my style of game. A lot of good dialogue, a lot of good writing, a lot of good character stuff, but yeah, it's just not my kind of game. So I fell off of it pretty quick. Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, that's a rough one.
Probably the second worst game of the year. I hated this, man.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I think a lot of people hate it.
It's a bad. I mean, it's still surprising to me after all the mistakes that these games make. Every time one of these games come out, I'm talking about the Destinies, the Anthems, that's what this game is. It's an anthem set in the Marvel's Avengers universe. And again, not fucking good. Not good at all. Just bog standard fucking combat system, QTE events, a lot of that. Story fucking is boring. The characters, you would think when you got fucking Iron Man and the Hulk and Black Widow and Thor, you think that the characters are gonna be like great, but not so much. I actually enjoyed like the interaction between them was actually pretty good. Like the back and forth between like Tony Stark and like the other characters are great. Kamala Khan was great. I really liked her, but like everything else fucking sucks, man. So fucking bad. So bad.
Yeah, I haven't heard a lot of positives about it since it came out. It's so weird to me they can fuck it up that bad. And you're right, like there's examples to learn from here. Like with you got your Destinies, your Anthems. Like how are games still? Yeah, how are games still doing this, man?
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully they figure it out, because I don't know, they could make a good, you would think, Avengers. Like even the Avengers name wasn't enough to fucking sell that game, which is crazy.
Yeah, man, it sold. It performed below expectations. It's got, I don't know how a game that has the Avengers name, developed by Square Enix, and all of their Square Enix money,
Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, the Tomb Raider guys.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider guys.
It just seems like their hands are tied, maybe. Like their hands are tied, and because it's based on an IP. So when you're making a game like that, I think there are higher ups who are calling all the shots. So they're really limited on what they can do or what they want to do versus what the higher ups want them to do. So I'm thinking that their hands are tied.
I mean, if that was the case, like, again, we've had like examples of this shit before. You'd think someone would have learned by now, but I don't know. I don't work in the games industry, but you'd think like seeing your competition, or if not competition, but other people in the same industry as you, having the same problem, like you'd think they would try to avoid that, but whatever.
Yeah. Hades we already talked about.
Phenomenal game.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Absolutely phenomenal. That's my game of the year. It barely beat out Doom.
Okay, so Genshin Impact.
I haven't played that one yet, so it's gonna be all you.
Free to play Chinese gacha game. Heavily based on the stylings of Breath of the Wild, which I ain't mad at. That's a good game.
Yeah. More people need to copy Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I would like to see more Breath of the Wild clones and less like Fortnite clones out there.
And here's the thing, Genshin Impact is a really fucking good game. Like,
It is.
it's a really fucking good game. I mean, I'm not gonna, I put tens of almost like 100 hours in it in the fucking launch week. Like, it's a really fucking good game. But what turned me off was the just the bad practices of I just wanted to enjoy the story, and there's just too many limitations. 'Cause it's a free to play game, so they got to make their money somehow. So they limit you in a lot of ways, and they gate the story, they gate a lot of the characters, they gate a lot of stuff in that game to where I just wasn't having fun anymore. But it is surprising how much quality they put into this game, given what it is. I mean, the soundtrack is amazing.
Yeah.
Probably like probably my third favorite soundtrack of the year, or maybe my fourth. Top five soundtracks, I would say. Graphics are amazing. The voice acting's amazing. Even the English voice acting, which is not even its first language. Even the Chinese is good, or whatever language you decide to play in. Like, it has multiple language tracks, subtitles. It's a quality product that's free to play, and it's just super impressive that what they did with it.
Which is cool to see. It's a shame that the gacha mechanics and the free to play mechanics kind of hold it back from being as good as it could be.
Yeah.
But I'm glad, like, hopefully other developers take like the right idea from it. And we talked about this before. Like, if any game is gonna get copied, it should be Breath of the Wild. Like, I wish more games did that.
Yeah. And you can see how long it takes to make a video game, because Breath of the Wild came out in 2017, and now the clones are just now starting to come out. So,
oh yeah, dude, I can't wait to see what else we got. 2021 is going to be an interesting year.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Rogue Company, only got 8 more, just 8 more of these. So
that's fine. Well, we'll knock those out, and I guess we can save like our personal game of the year list for like next week. If that's cool with you.
Yeah. I just want to talk about these so that no one's like, hey, why the fuck didn't Ghost of Tsushima? we told you why. So
yeah, I got a shout out.
Rogue Company, another. This one's by who the fuck made this game? I don't even remember. This game is very unremarkable, but it's another Counter-Strike style ability game along the lines of Valorant. But I like this one better than Valorant because you don't have to tiptoe every fucking where. But that's not to say that I like it very much at all. Because it's I don't know if they fixed this game, man, but it was fucking busted as fuck, man. I mean,
oh yeah,
I don't know if it's even released yet, but yeah, when I played it, it was fucked, man. It was fucked.
Yeah.
It gets bonus points because it uses some Run the Jewels tracks. So that's why I like it more than Valorant. But I don't know. It's just more fun to play. It adheres more to the Counter-Strike side of things than the ability side of things. Even though there are abilities, they're more subdued than I'm just shooting arrow through the walls type shit. So that's Rogue Company. Star Wars Squadrons. There's a lot of people who fucking love this game because it's very much it is a quality product. I'll say that. It adheres very much to the X-Wing, TIE Fighter classic games. And from what I understand, that's what a lot of people want. From my point of view, I have no affinity towards those old ass games. So I expected more from this than what we got. Now, that is to say, it only came out at like $30. So it wasn't like a full price game. And it does have a pretty robust multiplayer. That's
Hmm.
pretty enjoyable. But it has a pretty good VR mode from what I understand. But I don't know. I just expected a little more than what we got than just. And remember, what like leading up to the game, I was like, "There's got to be more to this, right? Than just because what they're
Yeah, I
showing
remember.
was,
You called
uh,
it.
yeah, it's like you just stand in one place and people talk at you, and then you fly, and then you come back and stand in one place, rotate, and people talk at you, and that's what the game is. Um, so it's good at that, but not enough for me. So, Watch Dogs Legion.
I forgot that came out this year. That made such a small splash.
Yeah. I I put I don't know, about 30 hours into it and kind of had my fill. It's I don't know. I haven't played a lot of Watch Dogs, but I did play each of them a little bit, and it's a Watch Dogs game. Um I don't know. I had fun with this game. Now, that's not to say it's a very fulfilling experience. It does get a little repetitive. It actually gets a lot repetitive, but and I think the mechanic of where you can play is recruit anyone. I kind of feel like it's not as robust as you would like it to be, given that you can do one of two things. You can either stick to one character because they can all basically do the same thing. You're never stuck. So you kind of just find one guy you're good with and then just stick to them. Um, or you could just keep like changing it up, and again, everyone has the same basic abilities, but one guy might start with an AK-47 and you might just fucking gun everyone down. There's no repercussion to that. I kind of feel like that whole mechanic falls flat on its face because there's not enough weight to it. So, but I don't know. I enjoyed it for what it was. I played it on Ubisoft Plus, which is like $15 a month. All you can eat buffet of their games. So like I played Watch Dogs Legion on there, and I also played Assassin's Creed Valhalla on there. Which, hey, I enjoyed that game as well. I don't know, had a lot of fun with that. Uh, that's all I gotta say about that. Like, I don't know, it's an Assassin's Creed game, but there's not a lot of assassin shit in it anymore, and I guess it's been that way for a while. This is more focused on just straight up fucking get up in that ass combat, which I like.
Hmm.
You can dual wield shields and do a bunch of like Viking shit, and it's just I don't know, it's fun. I enjoyed that game actually. I enjoyed it more than Ghost of Tsushima. So, Visage, horror game. That's tries to adhere to a more. It's the best. It's the best PT clone I've ever played.
Yeah, you're
Um,
telling me about that one too.
it kind of mixes the best aspects of a Layers of Fear with a PT, and it's a long game. It's a little too long, and it's a little too confusing. You kind of run around
Oh
in
yeah.
circles a lot, not knowing what the fuck you're supposed to do. But the scares in that game are very, very good, and yeah, it has like a sanity meter. So like when your sanity increases, there's a bunch of like random things that can happen in the world that kind of fuck with you. Um, and yeah, it was a really cool experience.
That's
Three
good.
more, three more, yeah, three
All
more.
right. All right.
Bug Snacks.
Ooh, that's one you. I know you were
Uh,
excited for that one. You like that one a lot.
yeah, really enjoyed Bug Snacks. It was surprising because I didn't know what to expect when I went in, and then it turns out it was just completely subverted my expectations. It was not not at all what I expected. which was a good thing because I expected it to be more of a standard affair than it was, and it turned out to be more of like a I expected more of a Viva Pinata, and it actually got like a Pokemon Snap. That's way better than Pokemon Snap.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed that game. So, Immortals, Phoenix Rising.
Yeah,
Here's
how was that
another.
one? That's one I wanted to play for a while.
It's another Breath of the Wild style game from Ubisoft,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun. You know, it's not again, I would say like the same thing as like Ghost of Tsushima. There's like really no points at where it crests. There's really no points at where it troughs. It kind of just has a real stable, consistent experience all the way through. But you know, it's a real 7 out of 10 experience all the way through. It's like not, you know, it doesn't really stand out. It's not really exciting, but it's good. It's fun. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Good.
If you like Breath of the Wild and just want more of I don't know, like more of that, but with like a dumb Borderlands thing. Okay. That's my biggest gripe. It's like Breath of the Wild with Borderlands dialogue in there, and I fucking hate that.
Oh, that instantly turned me off the game.
Yeah. But like it's got like that style of humor and that style of dialogue, and that's the worst thing about it. But like you can mute it, and when you mute it, it's fine. It also takes stabs at Breath of the Wild, where there was one point where I like walked past. There was like a random soldier that was just like fighting monsters, and he was like, "Well, at least my sword didn't break," and I was like, "Oh." That's fucking. I thought that was like the only funny thing that happened in this game. In a game that's trying to be funny, that was the one funny thing that happened. So, yeah, not bad.
What else we got?
Okay, last one. You know
All
what
right.
this. You know what this is. Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh man, that's kind of cliche, but what can we say about Cyberpunk that hasn't been said already?
I feel like people are scared to talk shit about this game, and that's unfortunate because I'm not. This game
Yeah.
is not good. I feel like this game fucking sucks, man. Like bugs aside, I'm not even talking about the bugs, dude. This game could be like completely bug free. I would still not like this game. I feel like it's incredibly shallow experience. Just nothing connects for me with this game in the least bit. I mean, soundtrack good, story good, characters I like, but I am not as connected to it as I thought I should have been, given the the attitude that's been that it's had. And I know you haven't had a chance to play it yet, but
I have not. It is on my list. It is on my list.
You've got your PC ready now. So so don't let what I'm saying taint. I know you were excited for this game, where I wasn't excited for this to begin with, but it has like even my low expectations. It came out lower than that for me. So, I don't like this game at all. I don't like the hacking. I don't like the gunplay. I don't like playing it at all. I thought I was going to try to finish it, but I don't think I am. So,
Oh, that's a bummer.
and I'm not even talking about the bugs. Like I had a relatively bug-free experience. Actually, I've had maybe like one, maybe two or three like real bad bugs, to where it kind of like where it pissed me off and I had to like restart the game and like reload a save. But other than that, I had like no bugs in my like 30 hours of playing. So I'm not even talking about bugs here. This is straight just game not being good for me. So
it's still on my list. I will play it eventually. I'm happy my PC took a shit when it did, because I was like ready to pre-order it, buy it day one. I was like hyped for this game. And it's kind of a blessing that I was out of commission when the game came out, so I couldn't like play it and get disappointed, you know?
yeah. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I not for me. So yeah, that's gonna do it.
Yeah, man, that's some a couple things that came out this year. I know there's a couple we missed, but I have some on my top 10 list we didn't go over here, so that'll be fun when we do that next week.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna next week we're gonna devise our top 10 definitive list of top 10 games of 2020. So now that we talked everything out the way, we can just get into we'll be able to get into the list next week. But
yep,
that's gonna do it for now. Gameoverse.com, Gameoverse.com/Twitch, Gameoverse.com/YouTube, Gameoverse.com/Discord. Yeah, and then just let us know what you think. Let us know your top favorite games of 2020. Let us know if we're fucking wrong. I'm gonna tell you now we're not. But
yeah, we're never wrong. Everything we say is right. You're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Bye, everybody.